It's time for an inside look at the most powerful motorsport on the planet. WFO Radio, NHRA Nitro.
NHRA Nitro podcast. Hopefully you are subscribed. That is my goal, that everybody gets subscribed and that you listen to these shows and your mobile device notifies you whenever there's new content. And the way it works, I know we've got a lot of new listeners out there. If you're a first-time listener to WFO Radio, we do NHRA winter views. We delve into the Mellow Yellow Drag Racing Series, Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series, sometimes journalists, sometimes just big personalities, legends, whatever. But we really try hard to bring you behind the scenes with these people and let you get to know them a lot better. But we also have our Ignition show as well, which is just pure entertainment for ourselves, and other people tend to find it funny as well. So if you like, radio and listening experience, there will be some comedy, there will be some information. So just so you know, check out the WFO Radio archive and just subscribe. Hopefully write us a review. You will love it. Now, on this edition, we're going to get into it with our Pro Stock winner, Alex Laughlin. Drives for Elite Motorsports, got Haviland on board. Huge victory for Alex. Alex going to be coming on the show just seconds from now. But right now, I got to thank the people who, just like Alex thanks Haviland, I got to thank the people who make it possible for us, like Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School and the Dragster Adventure. Oh, yes, Dragster Adventure is where you can drive a dragster. And its courses start at $399. They come to you. You bring nothing. You know, they provide everything. And you're making 1 half track, 2 full track passes, 3 burnouts. A great experience for someone who is an adrenaline junkie and wants to know what it's like to drive a rear-engine supercomp-style dragster. Go to frankhawley.com, find out more. They got the schedule. It makes a great gift. Total Seal, piston rings. The leader in ring seal technology, and they can make custom piston rings for any application, whatever it happens to be, and they do a lot in racing, and all that technology filters down to their piston rings for road cars. So check them out, TotalSeal.com. They do tools as well for piston rings, TotalSeal.com. MagicDryUS.com, talking about Scott Palmer's sponsor, Tommy Thompson's company. It's made out of coconuts, and it dries oil. Whatever it is, whatever the viscosity. So if you've got a shop or you're going over the road and you're lugging around various different oil dries, Magic Dry is lighter because it's made out of coconut. That's the big benefit. It's lighter, it's easier to carry, it absorbs more oil, it's organic, it's not bad for you or for the environment. MagicDryUS.com. Rodax, coffeeandgrills.com. Marvin Rodak is a big drag racer down in Fort Worth, Texas, but he's a grill meister and a coffee meister. And he has created his own blends of coffee that are drag racing themed, in addition to all the exotic stuff that you can't get. And it's amazing, roasted fresh per your order. Go to RodaxCoffeeandGrills.com. Check out the hot sauces and the spice rubs. If you love grilling, Rodax will get you up to speed. Great stuff. Great stuff. Samtech.edu, the School of Automotive Machinists and Technology. Start your education at full speed. For all you young people out there, like fans of Alex Laughlin, right? I assume his fan base is young. And you're thinking about, what am I going to do? Can I become a high-performance engine builder? Be involved with race cars for my whole life? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Maybe you become a CNC machinist. Maybe you become an engine builder. Maybe you become a machine shop foreman. Who knows? Who knows? They do motorsport EFI tuning. They're approved to train veterans under the GI Bill. Go to samtech.edu to find out more. And, of course, subscribe to our Factory Stock podcast. You're not going to want to miss that. Check them out. Hangstifer's Metalworking Lubricants. Of course, Hangstifer's Laboratories for the machine shops out there. HusseyPerformance.net. And Drag Racing Edge and EV3 Drag Racing. Supporting WFO. All right, let's get into it. Joining us now, Pro Stock winner at the Big Go, Alex Laughlin. Alex, welcome back to WFO. How are you?
Thanks, man. I'm good. It's been a while.
It has. It has, man. What's up with that? It has. It's good to have you back.
I know. It's been like, a year and a half or so, 41 races since I've won. So I finally got the pressure off my shoulders and, hopefully, doing better and moving on from here.
And you did it in a big fashion, winning the Big Go. But really, though, this has been a very strong season for you. Just breaking through has been the problem. Like, the 50th Gator Nationals, right? Final round, something breaks on the starting line. You lose, right? That was a race. You had a dominant car. You and Lump seem to be working very well together.
Absolutely. I do give him a ton of credit because he is so confident and so positive, because there's no doubt that I am my own worst enemy. And if I do something wrong, I'm pretty hard on myself. And he's easy to brush stuff off. And even whenever I'm not super confident going into whether it be a round of qualifying or a round of racing, he's always one that says, "You know what, dude, we've got it. Don't worry about it. It's all good and it's going to be good." So I think even just having the right mindset in a lot of the times is a huge deal as well.
The mental side of the sport, and we're going to talk about you round by round, but just generally, your first couple of races that you won, you did it with excellent reaction times, even some trip zeros. I think a trip zero in the final round, right? This is a mental game here.
It absolutely is. And on that, my last win, I was a perfect light in the final, until Indy here, and I was 120. I've never been 120 on race day in my life. But there's a lot of distraction and a lot of stuff that goes into it. And people can say all day that, they could do better, they could cut a light, but until you're actually there and doing it, nobody really understands. And, going back to Denver, that was the one race this year that we really struggled. And right there in the first round, whenever I rolled in and staged the car, the stage bulb started flickering and it never latched on, and I timed out. And whenever I rolled into the final round right there at Indy, it did the same thing. It flickered, and I immediately had flashbacks to Denver. And I'm thinking, this is the fourth final round, that I've been to this season. I'm about to waste it again. And, you literally only have just a couple of seconds, but you can only imagine the hundreds of thoughts that can run through your mind in that short amount of time. And I thought it was over, and it finally latched on. We both put our cars on the two-step, and the second I did, the bulb flickered again, and it absolutely distracted me. And E was 007 in her normal fashion. I was dead late. She absolutely welded me to the starting line, but she ended up having problems down track. And when it's race day, it's win or lose, and whatever it takes to get the car to the finish line as fast as possible, that's exactly what you have to do, regardless of what happens. And that's what I did, and ended up still getting there first.
Well, exactly. And there's a lot to unpack there, because you can be the recipient of bad luck, and you could be the recipient of good luck. You just don't know, right? The racing gods are making decisions. Everybody's doing their best. We joke about I say cosmic forces. Some people say racing gods. But the point is there is an additional element that is out of the control of everybody. You just don't know. And so on this given day, Erica launches her car. You're dead late. She has a parts malfunction. Something is wrong in the driveline. It just didn't run the way it did previously. Well, in Gainesville, you broke on the starting line. There are just so many different things that can happen in auto racing. But in the end, you got to the finish line first at the biggest drag race on the planet, and that is what mattered. And I can only imagine this is the biggest race win of your career, but you've won a lot of big stuff too. So you tell me, how does this one feel compared to the others?
Man, I'll be completely honest. It is the biggest race that I think anybody could win in drag racing. Based on how it was won, I do hate it. I want to win the race because I was the better driver and had the better car, and not so much just because I got lucky. You look back to Lights Out 10 earlier this year in Radio vs. the World when we won, and I was 004 against Daniel Ferris, who was 15, and I won on a hole shot, and that is a final round. That's as good of a drag race as you could ask for. So I felt better about that win than I do about this one. But like I said, I'm my own worst enemy, and I beat myself up. And I promise you, had I even been decent on the tree in that final round, I wouldn't feel the way I do now. But like you say, a year from now, the details of how or why are irrelevant. That U.S. Nationals Wally is going to be sitting on my shelf in my house here in Texas, for the rest of time.
I think it's good, and I think it's that's humility right there, right? Like you understanding the reality of the situation. It is what it is. But that having been said, you made it to the final. You got around 3 competitors prior to that. Steve Graham, Val Smealand, Alex Laughlin. Val having a great year, best year of his life, and making a countdown. Derek Kramer, who was a tough racer. They obviously loaded up to try to come after you because you'd been running well. They know that Lump is tough and you're tough. And then the final round against Erica, just something went wrong with her car. It is what it is, and you won the race. Now, something funny had happened at the start of the week, though, that I keep harping on just because I think it's crazy. The bird ride. So after the race is over on Monday night, I went back to the hotel and I decided I'm going to get on one of these birds just to check it out, right? To see what it would be like. Sure. I hadn't been on one of them. Man, you're crazy. What were you doing? Like after driving around the block, I was like, this dude went on a 11-mile ride on this thing? That is insanity.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I've ridden them plenty of times before, and we were out the night before, and I kind of jokingly said, like, man, how funny would it be to ride one of these things all the way to the track tomorrow? And everybody told me not to, so that was definitely my MO to give it a shot.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, we're talking about those little rental by the minute scooters that you see in a lot of big cities and a lot of towns, where you just take them and you ride on them for like 10 minutes and you get charged by the minute and then you leave it wherever you are and somebody else takes it. It's actually a really cool way to see a city.
Yeah, I agree completely. It's also not a really good way to get to the racetrack.
Well, and so did it geofenced, meaning it's like somebody is being alerted that it's being either stolen or and it's not working anymore. How far away from the track did it shut down? Halfway? 3/4 of the way? Like, how far did you get before you had to pedal that thing?
Well, I'll start with saying that I did at least look up, the range on these things, and it says that they're good on a full charge. They're good for about 15 miles. And I looked up the racetrack, and it said it was right at 17 miles. I thought, you know what, I'm just going to risk it and try to, drive this thing as economical as possible. And I made it about 12 miles whenever I drove outside of their service area, and it shut down. And so from there, I chose, you know what, I set out on this journey, and I'm going to finish it. And so I just did it the old-fashioned way and just kick pushed it the remaining distance.
I know it's crazy to think, and I mentioned this in the media center, that the two things are related. But for me, always analyzing, thinking about, the way things work, I do think they're related. You went on this crazy journey. We think about, heroes in movies, right? They go on crazy journeys. This is a crazy journey, Alex. You're on on an electric bird scooter. You're going to go 17 miles to the track to get out to the track. And what people who know Indianapolis know, from downtown to the track, you got to go through a lot of different terrain, right? And you're out there on this bird terrain. And, I don't know, it was like a test, right? It was a test, and you passed the test. You made it somehow, pushing it along the way, and then the racing gods smiled upon you.
Maybe so. Maybe that's the case. I took the challenge, and I accepted it, and overcame it.
Exactly. It's just, it's a hysterical story. And when we brought it up in the media center, they all seemed to like it. They were like, whoa, wait, what? You did what? And you did it. All right. Now you're 20 points out of the lead behind Bo. So total reset now. And this is for everything. The championship, it's definitely our biggest prize. As much as Indy is huge, it's one race. Winning over a 6-race span, you have proven that you are consistent enough to gain a lot of points. Second in the standings, ahead of Jason, ahead of Greg, ahead of Erica, ahead of everybody except for Bo. And you almost passed Bo. It was very close. Talked about Lump, talked about Elite. How are you going to handle this countdown? Has there been strategy talk? Is it just about going out there and doing the best you can and seeing where the chips fall? Tell me about the plan.
And honestly, my plan from here on out is to just have fun. I've never made the countdown before. The fact that I'm here now is a huge accomplishment as it is. Also, with the most recent win here, the weight has been lifted off of my shoulders where I'm not going from one race to the next just thinking, are we ever going to win again? And so, I'm not even greedy here. I'll take one win a year. That's it. That's all I'd really ask for. And, I've got that one. And so I feel content and complacent. I'm good. So from here on out, whatever happens. We have only one race this year, but we've been extremely consistent. I've only lost first round one time out of these first 12 races. Been to a ton of semis, been to 4 finals now, and been battling back and forth between second place and third place almost all season long. And going to the next race, I just keep thinking, how important it is to not fall back any further, and we just don't. We do well every single race, and the consistency is what it's going to take to pay off. I actually thought it would be interesting to be able to go the entire season winless, but still be able to win the championship. It's been done, and it can be done. And now that we're in a position that we're in, it's just going to be key to continue to be consistent.
You've said a couple of things during the interview that, like, this was weighing on you, not getting a win. Like, you were feeling the pressure of not getting a win. Where does that come from? Does that come from just you and your personal drive to go out there and be successful, or does it also come from you've got a pretty high profile? You got your feet in multiple worlds in addition to NHRA Pro Stock. You're on the the outlaw scene, drag radio versus the world. You already mentioned that you've had success there. You're a known commodity on these various television shows. You've been involved. You have a large social media reach and people that want to see you win, and it sounds like that was burning you up a little bit. It's good to talk about now that you've delivered.
Yeah, for sure. It's credibility for me, but it's also a big deal, to be able to show my sponsors, that we are the real deal and what they're investing in. We are a winning team. I know that they aren't as worried about wins as I am. They're worried about, the kind of person that they endorse and whatnot. But, I'm a competitive person. I've got a lot of competitive nature. 5 years ago, I was just more than happy to just be there, and qualify. I don't need to win a round. I just want to let the clutch out on a Pro Stock car. That was my lifelong dream. But, after getting that first round win, and then going in a few rounds and then winning a race, after that, you realize that how good it can be. And you definitely want to do that more.
Haviland being on board, I don't know if we appreciate what a big deal that is. I mean, we do, but I don't know if we talk about it enough. Like, they've been on a lot of great cars across motorsports, thinking about NASCAR and their involvement. The fact that Haviland is in NHRA and in Pro Stock in particular, that is a big, big deal. Were they happy? I would imagine they were happy, but tell me a little bit about that relationship.
They were happy, and to be honest, they've been happy. I've got a great relationship with these guys, and they've done so much for me. And all my sponsors, big or small, every little bit helps. We're not one of the top funded teams. We're just kind of scraping by, to be honest. And this racing stuff, it's crazy expensive, and for me, without the sponsors, I certainly wouldn't be able to do it. So obviously I'm super thankful for them, but also the people that work there are just great people. And so I look at them as an extension of my actual team. And, altogether, I feel like I couldn't ask for a better team, whether it's the people that travel with me to the track and that work on the car and that make the calls, or the people, that are behind these brands, that are investing in me. And especially in Pro Stock, you don't see a whole lot of that. There's several of the guys out there that just race Pro Stock, on their own dime because they can afford it and it's what they want to do. And we don't get the same TV coverage and the hype as the Nitro cars, and I get it. We don't go 300 and we don't blow up and blow fire, and it's not as loud and whatnot. But when somebody really does understand the category and know what it takes to make our cars do what they do, it is a whole lot easier to appreciate them. But having Haviland on board, I mean, it's a huge brand. They're owned by Chevron. These are household names and household brands that are sticking with me, and that's a huge deal, and that's a lot of credibility in itself.
And will they be on for the countdown? You have kind of a side thing where you are the guy with the most wraps of anybody over the course of the season, hustling to get different sponsors in the mix. And you've had some really cool-looking cars over the years, so whoever's designing them is designing them very, very well. The Haviland car, though, looks great. So, if you lay out your countdown schemes.
For the most part, I think it's just going to stay just the way it is. If anything, they may just change up some of the colors and whatnot on the car. I may have a different sponsor coming in for the Vegas race. I'm not sure yet. That's one that is still kind of been up in the air. But besides that, it's going to be Haviland the whole way.
Well, very good. Good luck for them, and good luck to you. Alex, thank you for coming on WFO Radio Podcast after winning the Chevrolet Performance U.S. Nationals, the big go. It is, top line of the resume for so many people. Congratulations. But I do understand your intensity and the feeling about it, and I respect that, actually, because that's real. That means you're a real racer. And I know there's great things coming for you. And now you're in a championship fight. So good luck. Go get it done.
Well, I appreciate it, and we're going to do the absolute best we can.
Alex, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, man.
Alex Laughlin with us here on NHRA Nitro. Subscribe. Never miss an interview here on WFO Radio, Spotify, Apple Podcast. We've got a mobile application for iPhone, Android, all that stuff. Wherever you get your podcast, you can find WFO Radio, NHRA Nitro. WFO stands for wide open. You can fill in whatever the middle word is, whatever it is. And good to Alex. I love the fact that he is slightly dissatisfied with the victory. To me, that means he's real racer. Some people would be like, I won Indy, I don't care, whatever. And that's the real truth, is he won Indy, whatever. He's got the trophy, he's got the money. Like he said, 10 years from now. But having to go up against Erica, having her leave on him, and feeling that, to me, that legitimizes him in a big way. That's the right way to feel in his situation. But you don't give back the trophy. He got to the finish line first. And that's the reality of drag racing. And there are literally thousands, tens of thousands of examples over the years of situations similar to this. You got to get to the stripe first. It's tough stuff. Congratulations to Alex Laughlin on winning the U.S. Nationals. More WFO interviews to come. You're going to want to keep your eye on the archive, WFOradio.com. Great place to do it. Just go to the podcast feed. All kinds of good stuff on there, though. If you don't know the best and easiest way for you to listen, we have SoundCloud and Spotify, and Apple, and Google, all listed right there. You can go hit it up from your mobile device and then just pick any one of the shows, and there will be buttons that you can press. That will allow you to subscribe on whatever means is best for you. Whether it be iPhone, get the iPhone app. Whether it be Android, get the Android app. Whether it be SoundCloud, if you're a SoundCloud person. Whether it be Spotify, whatever. I've just said this, and I'm driving it home. Big thanks to Alex for coming on the show. Big thanks to our sponsors. He's got his, we've got ours, like Total Seal Piston Rings, the leader in ring seal technology. They will custom make piston rings for whatever your application. MagicDryUS.com. Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School at frankhawley.com. RoadXCoffeeandGrills.com. We got a lot of .coms. Why? Because we are worldwide, and everybody uses the internet to get the stuff. Samtech.edu, the School of Automotive Machinists and Technology. Start your education at full speed. Hangstafers, Metalworking Lubricants, HusseyPerformance.net, EV2 Drag Racing, Drag Racing Edge Magazine, all supporting WFO Radio over the years. We really appreciate it. 10th anniversary. Stay tuned. More to come following the big go.
WFO! The views and opinions of the hosts, guests, or callers do not necessarily reflect that of the station ownership, advertisers, or agencies.
I love WFO Radio.
Oh, yeah.
The one thing that top drag racing teams agree on is Hangstafers.com. Hangstafers metalworking lubricants are going to make you more efficient in the machine shop. It's going to save your tools, it's going to improve your surface quality, and it's going to make you quicker and more efficient. Go to Hangstafers.com to find out more information. Hangstafers metalworking lubricants since 1937. You're working in the shop, you've got spills, you've spilled oil, it's everywhere. What are you going to do? I know what you're going to do, but that's not the best way to do it. The best way to do it is to go to magicdryus.com and order the official organic absorbent of the National Hot Rod Association, Magic Dry. It's lighter, it absorbs more, it's better for the environment. It's made out of coconut. It's made in America. magicdryus.com. They've got spill kits that include everything you need for a regular, normal household spill, all the way up to a large industrial spill. We always say, if you've got a cat, get Cat Spot. If you've got a shop, if you've got a factory, if you've got a spill, call Magic Dry. That's magicdryus.com.
This is WFO Radio.